let's move on now as the race to the White House heats up. Now, we put a spotlight on the swing state of North Carolina, which is, of course, becoming, you see a seesaw happening there with the results trickling in, one that has tilted in favor of Republicans since 2008. How will this swing state on North Carolina shape the election results this time? Watch this next report to know more.
In the race to the White House, North Carolina is one of the 7 swing states that could determine the outcome of this increasingly tight race. As a swing state, North Carolina is notorious for swinging mostly in favor of the Republicans, with the state electing a Republican in 10 out of 12 elections since 1976. Here's all you need to know about the land of Krispy Kremes and purple hues. North Carolina, with a population of over 10.5 million, has 16 electoral college votes. That's a significant share for any candidate's path to the 270 figure. The only battleground state that Donald Trump won in 2020 by 74,000 votes, and that is a margin of 1.3. This was the smallest margin for the Republican among the 50 states. The last time a Democrat got a clear mandate in the state was for Barack Obama in the year 2008, and Jimmy Carter before that in the year 1976. While Trump's win reinforces its Republican tilt, its narrow margin is what keeps it in the swing state territory. In the 2020 presidential election, North Carolina was a hotly contested battleground. Republican Donald Trump narrowly won the state over Democrat candidate Joe Biden by a margin of about 1.3%, as mentioned earlier. Now, Trump's victory in North Carolina was largely supported by white voters, particularly in suburban and rural areas, whereas Biden saw strong turnout among African American voters in urban centers like Charlotte, Raleigh, and Durham. Now, demographically, North Carolina has a rapidly growing urban population with younger, more diverse voters, contrasting with its conservative rural base. The race to the White House has been mired in obstacles for North Carolina, with Storm Helene wreaking havoc and voting rules altered. Some argue that the motivations for the election may have been severely impacted for the people of North Carolina. That, coupled with demographic shifts, especially as younger, urban, and more diverse populations continue to grow, that makes the outcome much more unpredictable. Now, for Democrat voters, having Kamala Harris, the first Black and Southeast Asian woman, as their presidential nominee represents an exciting new opportunity, with abortion laws topping the list of concerns. For Republican voters, it's economy, inflation, and immigration that tops the agenda. The Hurricane Helene left behind significant death and destruction. It raised significant questions about access to voting in areas devastated by the storm, adding another layer of complexity in the race to the White House. It sent both camps scrambling for how to reach voters in affected areas. While recent opinion polls gave Trump a 2-point lead over Harris in North Carolina, 10 days before the polls, experts say the race is too close call. This is where the share of the undecided voters, which as of September stood at 38%, could play a pivotal role.
All right, the votes are being counted now, and stages are being set for the U.S. presidential nominees Kamala Harris and Donald Trump on Election Day. Supporters and campaign workers for Harris will await results on election night at the campaign headquarters for Democrats Kamala Harris and Tim Walz at Howard University. For Kamala Harris, of course, she's waiting there with her sorority sisters. Now, Republicans Donald Trump and his running mate J.D. Vance will gather with supporters at the Palm Beach County Convention Center in Florida. We just had our VOA correspondent right there. They are telling us about the mood on the ground. In Union City, Georgia, Fulton County election officials were busy printing receipts from every scanner used in early voting throughout Fulton County. Now, the United States is likely to become more busy with the votes count coming in every hour, results swinging in on either side every second.